Ha! Deja vu! Now, miles of open landscape, a heroic journey spanning across 5 games. Stories of bravery, honor, and just... You've heard all of this already. If you haven't already skipped it, just roll the intro. Hello and welcome to Two Major Losers. In this show I don't powder coat, give biased opinions, or tell good jokes. I tell great ones. Since you last saw me, I spent a week in the Tibetan mountains learning with monks how to properly use Photoshop. It didn't work. You already know what we're getting into, so sit right back, grab the popcorn, because I have a lot of things to say about these 2 games. Be prepared to get mad and disagree with me. Next up on our list, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion. Probably another one of my favorites, definitely in my top 3 of 5, which is kind of dumb and redundant. This game was released on March 20th, 2006, just 2 days before I turned 6 years old. And it came out for PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. And of course there was the mobile version called Elder Scrolls Travels. But let's think about the cell phones of the time for a moment, shall we? God damn, if I get mad at it, I can't even throw it across the room, it'll survive. Now, the game begins, as with most of the other Elder Scrolls games, you're imprisoned again for an unknown crime. Only difference is this time you're not going to get your head cut off. But the Emperor and his personal guard come down to your cell and tell you that within your cell lies a secret escape route for the Emperor. The Emperor and his personal guard are fleeing from assassins that have already killed his 3 children and are now hunting him down. The escape route is revealed by pulling on a shackle hanging from the ceiling in your cell. I'm sorry, but you're going to tell me that I was in the cell for how many years? And never once did I go, what happens when I do this? Never? Oh well. The Emperor pardons you and you escape into the sewer system together. However, after you get split from the group, and during your daring escape, you come under attack by more assassins. At that time, the Emperor's guards tells you to go hide in that room with the Emperor. While you're there, the Emperor realizes that this is most certainly certain doom. So he gives you the Amulet of Kings and tells you to take it to Joffrey, a secret member of the Blades who's been hiding out at Waynham Priory. After he's done telling his tales, he gets killed by an assassin. All but one of the Emperor's guards dies in the fight, and it turns out that with no one to take the throne, the gates of Oblivion shall open. Pretty much this game's version of hell, spewing demons forth. So, what needs to be done is you need to find the Emperor's illegitimate son and have him relight the fires in the Imperial City. By doing so, we can close shut the jaws of Oblivion. Now for the game itself. The game takes place in Cyrodiil, one of the brightest colored places I have ever seen. You play for more than a couple hours, you're gonna go blind. If you adjust your brightness settings too high, you're gonna go blind. Now again, even with the limitations of the time, and I know, again, I got on a whole bunch of people in the last video for saying, oh, old games suck because they're graphics. But again, the character models are a little interesting, and some of them scare me, especially the non-human races in this game. It's like they're a Rorschach test, specifically the Khajiit.
Yes, Sean, but how does this make you feel?
Oh my gosh! It looks like that one Khajiit from the Dark Brotherhood who's gonna hate me until I have to kill him. I'm so conflicted, Doctor! Cyrodiil's layout, though, is actually pretty cool because it's very historically accurate. Where Imperial City is, where the Emperor spends most of his time, is in the center of the map. It's the heaviest to be guarded. It is surrounded by water. Its most defensible position on the map. And that's really smart to put your Emperor in the center of a lake. How'd that work out, Emperor Picard? That's right. The main Emperor of the game and the main voice on all the trailers and the main voice in the intro clip to the game is none other than Jean-Luc Picard, captain of the USS Enterprise, and as a huge Trekkie, that makes me happy. Another thing that makes me happy about the game is the music. Now, I could listen to the music from Oblivion for hours. In fact, I was listening to Auriel's Ascension, which I believe is track 9 on the original soundtrack, and I thought to myself, I should review Oblivion, and I guess the other ones too. But the game is really interesting, and if not for the gameplay, it's interesting for the jankiness of the game alone. It's so not buggy, but just not great. You know, able to talk to a guard and have him fold out a whole conversation and then have him turn around and walk through a pile of cheese wheels like nobody's business. Or talking to a homeless person like, could I have a coin? And then asking them for rumors. The same person going, have you heard about Joffrey? It's so entertaining, even if you're not playing the main quest line, even if you're not doing side quests. This game will entertain you for hours. And of course that brings me to the quest lines. They were so fun and so creative and ingenuitive. I will never forget having to blue-skidoo into a magical painting to save its painter, or having to be sucked into an Argonian's dreams to save him and solve a series of demented puzzles. And then there's the Dark Brotherhood. Honestly, I don't think I have a single profile in that game that isn't part of the Dark Brotherhood, because that questline is so phenomenal. And then, of course, we can never forget, quite possibly, the best questline in the whole series from our DLC delve into the realm of madness, the Shivering Isles, led by King Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness. The voice acting and the quests and the puzzles from that DLC, the Shivering Isles, is probably my favorite in the whole series, probably my favorite of any RPG ever, with the, as I like to call it, the suicidal Sasquatch mission from Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare close behind. You know, I like to think of myself as a mentally stable Sasquatch, so I guess I can relate a little bit. Either way, if you decide to play Oblivion, and you see a little yellow Legend of Zelda fairy-looking thing, run. Don't think, just run.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Well, everyone, if you've made it this far, welcome to Elder Scrolls V. Now, you might not have heard of the first 3 games, and heck, you might not have even been too familiar with Oblivion. But even if you've never played it, you know Skyrim. Skyrim was released on November 11th, 2011, 7 years ago. The major plot of the game is that there's a Stormcloak and Empire war happening. Meanwhile, the dragons are also somehow coming back to Skyrim. And you're just kind of caught in the middle. The game starts, as with most Elder Scrolls games, you're in custody. You were trying to cross the border into Cyrodiil with the Stormcloak rebels, but the authorities caught you, and of course, as with any authorities, your Imperial captors have decided to execute you and your chums. No loose ends, no questions asked. But the dragons were coming back to the Skyrim at the same time, and Alduin, giant dragon extraordinaire, accidentally frees his soon-to-be biggest enemy, you, the Dragonborn. At this point, you have a choice. Leave the burning city of Helgen with a Stormcloak rebel, Ralof, or leave the burning city of Helgen with the Imperial Hadvar. Either way, you end up going to Riverwood, and either way, you're told to go to Whiterun to warn Jarl Balgruuf of the impending dragons. From there, you get called to High Hrothgar, but you don't really have to do that. In fact, I guess you really don't have to go to Whiterun, and for that matter, you really don't have to go to Riverwood. Once you leave Helgen, you're just kind of on your own. This game has sort of two main quest lines. One, you need to kill Alduin to stop the impending threat of the dragon, because he's the one who's bringing them all back to life. And two, stop the Civil War by picking a side, and then you're pretty much done. But Skyrim has a major problem.
You know, a lot of my friends asked me, Sean, how did you beat Skyrim? And all I could say was mods. Bethesda, we need to talk. Your game is incomplete. We are the sons in the eyes of Alduin, and we are the ones that have been screwed over by game-breaking glitches. The Elder Scroll just randomly disappeared out of my inventory.
Clear Skies Dragon Shout never appeared on the wall.
Jarl Ulfric, he's just gone. I don't know what happened to him. I didn't kill him. He's just gone.
Okay, there's auto saves and there's saves, but I saved my game. I'm just stuck in an infinite loop of death now.
Bethesda, you've re-released your game so many times.
Original.
Connect Edition.
Legendary Edition.
Switch.
Special Edition.
VR Edition.
Amazon Alexa.
So please, Bethesda, before you re-release Skyrim for my TI-85 calculator, fix your game.
Fix your game.
He's gone. He's just gone. I don't know what to tell you, but he's gone.
Just fix your game.
This has been a special announcement from Allies in the Eyes of Alduin. Join us in the hopes of a better Bethesda.
Okay, that might be a little harsh, but Skyrim is such a buggy game that literal game-breaking glitches can get in the way of finishing the game no matter at what point you're at. That aside, however, Skyrim is a really fun game. The graphics are gorgeous and the landscapes are wonderfully crafted. Much like games such as Uncharted or Red Dead Redemption or Halo Reach, I could just sit there for hours and enjoy the scenery as the story goes on behind me. I mean, yes, Reach is falling to the Covenant, but the sunset looks amazing from my Falcon, so shut up, cat. The quest lines are fun and intriguing, and so many of them can keep you enthralled in this world for hours, days, weeks, or even months, or at least until you get glitch stuck in a pile of dead bodies, and you remember it's a video game. A really bad, glitchy video game. The stories you can find can be terrifying, touching, and everything in between. Questions like reuniting quest lines. Alright, I can cut it. I can cut it at a really glitchy, bad. Quest lines such as reuniting lost lovers' ghosts or leading the Forsworn Rebellion in Markarth, which I'm still not sure if I should have done that. I mean, Skyrim has a lot of problems, and I mean a lot of problems. What it lacks in actual legitimate game completion, it makes up for, though, with an extremely all-around fun experience. Which brings me to quite possibly the best part of the entire game. The most fun video gaming experience you can have. Fighting dragons. I mean, just look at this. Cut.
Put a dragon there.
Yeah. Intense, so epic, and the music, not just for dragon fighting even, but the music is spot on perfect. After playing for a few hours, I've gotten up to go get some water or go get a drink or something, and I've heard the in-house, like just walking around music, still playing in my head. I think I played for like 15 hours straight, which is a bad idea. Don't do that. But the music is such an experience alone. Just running up to dragons, the biggest creature in the game with this huge men's choir behind you. Just things that literally breathe fire. You know, it's so cool. Skyrim has to be one of the most epic feeling games to date, and playing it most of the time, it makes you feel like an absolute badass to just burst into caves and slaughter wave after wave of demons, devils, and dead things. Okay guys, personal space, for real. Like, I'm trying to be stealthy here, so if you could just like back off, please. And speaking of demons, devils, and dead things, the Daedric quest lines are so cool. Most of the time, if I'm using a weapon in the game, it was earned through a Daedric quest line, like Mehrunes Razor or Mace of Molag Bal. Heck, my favorite weapon in the game is the Sanguine Rose, which conjures a demon for 2 minutes to fight with you. Sorry, a Daedra for 2 minutes to fight with you. He's tall, dark, and handsome. I named him Charlie, because why the hell not? But there are so many things that Skyrim lost over the gap between Skyrim and Oblivion that I wish were still in the game. Like, the guards served more than just memes. The guards in Oblivion could tell you the juiciest gossip, where to hawk off your crap, and then where to take a good night's rest. It was amazing, but meanwhile, in Skyrim, I know that if I go fiddling with any locks around here, we're gonna have a big, big party. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'll excuse me, I have dragons to kill. For Whiterun!
I hope I can help. Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it. Farewell.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big old thumbs up down there. Also hit that subscribe button so you know when we upload the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 2 of episode 1. Did you disagree with me? Did you not disagree? Or did you agree with me? Whichever one you did, put it in the comments down below. You never asked for my opinions, but I'm asking for yours. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Please, can we make Allies in the Eyes of Alduin t-shirts? Please. That'd be amazing.